Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Don't you just love this garish artificial light coming from the monitor, like my huge computer monitor behind my camera right now, that I'm sure has all types of harmful blue light rays. But as you know, I don't really have a good light source these days, which is a problem considering that I tend to film at night, especially nowadays, seeing as I'm really busy during the day and sometimes even on the weekends with work and things of that nature. But yeah, I just thought it would be a good idea to hop on here and kind of do a wish list type of video. So we're just gonna keep it casual and go through my little list of items that I want to, like beauty items or things that are interesting me as we move forward in the year of 2022. I feel like my priorities and I guess you could say my wants makeup wise are shifting just a little bit as we move into this new year. Nothing crazy, but there's just like, I mean, basically I'm not as trigger happy as I used to be, right? When it comes to new releases. This goes for both Western and Asian makeup. Honestly, I feel like the decision fatigue is kind of taking a toll on all of us or the entire beauty community as a whole, even speaking on global terms. Yeah, like I just see a shift worldwide and certainly within my own circle as well, kind of away from the crazy like buy, gotta have every new edition and new release mentality, shifting back towards the more minimalist, or not necessarily minimalist, but just more like back to basics, only focusing your energy and your resources on things that truly call out to you. With that being said, my wish list is actually very short. I only have 5 items on here and one of them is not even really for me. You might be surprised by the sheer simplicity and brevity of this list. It's truly just a handful of items and new releases that I find myself personally drawn to. Nothing to do with what's trending right now or what the hot new brand is on Instagram. It's literally just like what I feel in my heart is calling out to me. So here we go. Number 1 is the new YSL Black Opium Eau de Parfum in Illicit Green. Now, you know that name alone has me salivating, like my Slytherin heart, anything with green. And when I read the description of the scent, it was basically like, I didn't even have to get to the end of the paragraph to be sold on this, but I'm gonna read it to you anyway. So it says, Black Opium Illicit Green by Yves Saint Laurent is a floral, fruity, gourmand fragrance for women. This is a new fragrance launched in 2022. Top notes are fig leaf, mandarin, green mandarin, and pear. Middle notes are fig, jasmine, and orange blossom. And base notes are bourbon, vanilla, coffee, and patchouli. I don't know what that last ingredient is, but yeah, these, like pretty much every single note that was described there is right up my alley. Minus the vanilla, but like that's okay because that's part of the base note, so I know that that's not gonna be what is leading this scent. I'm just gonna be like upfront with you. I don't even know when this is supposed to be released, and I tried to search for it in Japanese so many different ways, but nothing is coming up. I see that it is available on Sephora in North America starting on the 24th. So like it's basically gonna release overseas or like somewhere in the Western market within the next 2 days, but I have yet to hear news or been able to find anything about a release date in Japan, and I'm getting like very antsy. Basically, I want this in my hands right now, which is kind of a surprise to myself, even because you guys all know that my ride or die perfume is Gucci Rush 2, which has been discontinued in the past year. So I swore that I could never be satisfied with a perfume other than this, and I'm still actively collecting like every single last stock of this that I can find online on third-party retail sites. But you know what, I'm allowed to have variety in my life as well. And yeah, to be completely honest, even if it does get released in Japan not too far behind the Western market release, which I honestly, like, I'm not even convinced that it's gonna happen, because who knows, you never know with these international high-end brands. They can be selective and weird about certain products that they release in certain markets. So you know, worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna have to order it off of Sephora or Yves Saint Laurent, the international site, like from Europe or something. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, even if this does get released in Japan, I honestly don't even Like, I don't really see myself going in person to even test this out, or yeah, like spray it and see if it's a scent that I actually can get on board with. More than likely, I'm probably just gonna order it the minute that it becomes available online, sight unseen, or scent unsmelled. So yeah, super bougie, rich bitch move, but you know what? I'm kind of loving it for myself these days, like, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not even gonna apologize for that. So yeah, Black Opium Illicit Green Eau de Parfum. I know I'm gonna love this though. Like, I will be very surprised if I end up actually hating the scent, because the description alone, all of these notes, like especially the fig and the green mandarin, that is pretty much exactly the type of fragrance that I like. I like a very citrusy, fruity fragrance, but since it's YSL and because it's an eau de parfum as opposed to eau de toilette, I know it's gonna also have that kind of like weighty, delicious, heavy base as well, if that makes sense. I'm so bad at describing scents, you guys. I'm trying my best here, but yeah. And that sounds some grown woman-ish, okay? Oh yeah, and I forgot to even mention that just the packaging and the presentation overall of the actual perfume bottle is just so like, completely up my alley. Again, it's just giving me all sorts of Slytherin, Queen, Evil Queen, Maleficent type of vibes, and I'm here for it. I am here for it all. And I think, fun fact, so their promo model for this scent is actually Zoe Kravitz, and she is the daughter of Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet, I believe, which, oh my god, did you guys hear about the split between Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa? I mean, not that I care, but I kind of cared when it came to these two. Like, I kind of was shocked. But anyway, that is neither here nor there. Moving on to number 2. So I am very intrigued by the new Blendberry palette. Blendberry is a relatively new brand by Kosei, I believe. And they have a new limited edition variation for their Aura Creation eyeshadow palette line that is slated to come out at the end of this month. I believe it's like the 27th or the 28th or something, so just about one more week before this one comes out. And this is in number 105. It is called Golden Kiwi and Sweet Pink. So I actually reviewed either one or two of these palettes when this Blendberry brand first came out, and I'll link the review up here if you're interested. Basically what happened is that my eyes got very irritated after the filming of that review, and I automatically attributed it to the glitter content in the palette, because every palette in this Aura Creation line, it really follows that typical Japanese, like, super glittery, sheer, glossy looking Japanese formula trend. There's no such thing as a true like matte or base color in these palettes. All of them pretty much have some sort of glitter or shimmer content in them. And yeah, so after my eyes got really irritated that one time that I reviewed the first release from Blendberry, I was kind of turned off to the brand for a while after that, but now I'm ready to revisit it because honestly the shadows are really pretty. I do really enjoy this typical Japanese like sheer, shimmery, barely there kind of eyeshadow aesthetic as well, in addition to Western style makeup or Instagram style makeup. And the fact that these shadows are on the more colorful side, it adds that fun element to it, right? Like, I don't feel like I have to give up playing with color, even though it's gonna turn out to be a more subtle look overall. But yeah, what am I trying to say at the end of the day? So basically, I want to believe that it was a fluke the first time I tried out that first Aura Creation palette. Like, I want to believe that it was not the actual eyeshadow formula, and maybe it could have been something else. It could have been anything else. It could have been my eyelash glue. I could have just gotten like, I don't know, some weird strain of pollen into my eye. Because I very rarely, especially nowadays, I feel like my makeup cleansing routine has also leveled up quite a bit, and I'm much more diligent about it, and I'm much more careful when it comes to removing eye makeup. The more I think about it, the more I feel like it's unlikely that the formula itself would just be incompatible with my body chemistry or my skin to the point where it could make it so irritated, right? Because I rarely, to be honest, I rarely have that experience with any type of eyeshadow formula. You know, there's always isolated incidents here or there, but yeah, like for the most part, even with complexion products like foundation or whatnot, I rarely run into a situation where a product causes me to break out or gives me a rash or something like that. So yeah, definitely excited for and intrigued by this kiwi and pink theme. Who knows, you guys might be getting another Blendberry review by the end of this month or the beginning of next month. Number 3, so this item is not even for me actually, but I'm including it on my wish list because I really wanted to pick this up for my twerk sensei, Mikuri, the Japanese twerk queen. But to my dismay and kind of surprised, but I'm also kind of not surprised, it is not available in Japan. So this is the Estee Lauder Year of the Tiger Pure Color Envy Cheek Palette. I don't think that these are special shades that they came out with. I think they recycled some of their older shades, but this packaging for sure is their special Chinese New Year packaging for Year of the Tiger. So yeah, my twerk teacher was actually born in Year of the Tiger, and she uses the tiger as her logo for the Japan twerk pre-selection contest thing. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name of the actual event, but there's like a global twerk championship thing, and then Japan has their own pre-selection event to choose the best twerkers in Japan to send to the international competition. So yeah, she's the host of that, and I don't know if she herself designed the logo, but I'm sure she had like a lot of say in it. And so the logo has a tiger, and she's also posted quite a bit on her stories around the New Year holiday about her pride when it comes to Year of the Tiger. So I thought it would be a really special gift to gift her with this special limited edition cheek palette from Estee Lauder for Valentine's Day. But to my disappointment, I realized that this was not released in Japan, which is kind of frustrating and annoying because Japan does recognize, like, they don't necessarily celebrate Chinese New Year, but the the Chinese zodiac is definitely a huge thing here. Like every time around the New Year's holiday season, they always make a big deal about what the next animal is going to be, and there's always like a bunch of merch and, you know, greeting cards and stuff that they make with the design of the animal for the next year. But I guess I kind of understand why there's not as many Chinese New Year's releases in Japan, because for the most part I feel like the general public, when it comes to their makeup consumption habits, they really tend to shy away from the more gaudy type of packaging. It's not necessarily from a negative place, but definitely just anything that is like over the top, ornate looking, people tend to shy away from, especially when it comes to their day-to-day makeup items, if that makes sense. So yeah, anyway, super annoying because I feel like this would have been the perfect gift for my sensei on Valentine's Day. Of course, I do have ways of getting it through import sites, but then it's just like not as special, you know? If it was just for myself, yeah, then I would have no problem ordering it from one of those overseas websites. But since it's a gift, I want to be able to actually go to the counter, you know, and get the proper like Estee Lauder, the freshest, newest packaging for it so that I can present it properly as a gift. But I don't know, we'll see. I'm sure she wouldn't mind either way. Like, I'm sure she's a very gracious person, and I'm sure she would love anything that her students get her, but it's just a personal pet peeve of mine. Okay, let's move on to number 4. So going back to things that I want to get myself, I want the Giorgio Armani Lip Maestro liquid lipstick in 505. And what is this called? Does it have a name? So it's called Eccentrico in number 505, and it's basically just a true Malibu Barbie hot pink, shocking pink as they say in Japan, type of shade, which you guys know is one of my favorite colors. And the lipstick that I have on my lips right now is actually from this very line. So this is the Lip Maestro in number 400, and I can never remember the name for this because there's like different names for it in Japanese and English, even though the Japanese name is also in English except just with a Japanese accent. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I think it's called red carpet in Japanese, like reddo carpeto in the Japanese pronunciation, but in English it's just called the red. Either way, I bought this on an airplane, right? Like literally flipping through the duty-free catalog. This is the best liquid lipstick that I've ever tried in my life. I've said it a million times, I will say it again, and this is the only red that I ever wear pretty much. Even though I have other red lipsticks in very unnecessary quantities, like just sitting in my drawers unattended. This is the one that I keep coming back to over and over again because the shade is perfect. It's like the most gorgeous blue based pure red that I've ever tried. It's super comfortable. The formula is long lasting. I can smudge it out for a softer diffused effect. I can layer it up to make it more intense. And yeah, it never fails to disappoint. So I thought, why not pick it up in another one of my favorite colors, which would be hot pink. And yeah, so this shade 505, it seems like it'll fit the bill perfectly. These lip swatches though, I feel like these pictures don't even do the formula justice. Like, it makes it look worse than it actually is, in my opinion. Or it might just be the style that they're doing it on these lip models, where it's like the really clear-cut outline of your lips and the cupid's bow and whatnot, which there's nothing wrong with that if that's your preferred lipstick application style. But for me personally, I definitely prefer the Korean K-beauty or just Asian beauty in general style of smudging the edges out and having more of the color concentrated on the center of your lips so that it fades out in a popsicle effect, like you were just sucking on a popsicle. I just find that style to be much more flattering on me. So yeah, honestly, I'm really thankful that I picked up this number 400 shade all that time ago on that one flight, because if I didn't get the chance to try it and see for myself how beautiful this formula actually wears on the lips, I might have given this entire line a pass based on their swatch photos alone. Like, they need to get some better marketing for this product, in my opinion. Not to harp on this for too long, but do you see this? Like, why is this emphasizing every single wrinkle and texture in these models' lips when it clearly doesn't look like that in real life? It looks 10 times better. So yeah, for number 5, the last item on my wish list, this is not so much a specific item as it is kind of a brand or like a category as a whole, and that would be Lush products. I actually received quite a lot of Lush products as gifts from people near the end of last year, like for Christmas and New Year's and things like that. I've always liked Lush as a brand. Like, the few products that I've picked up from them over the years, I've enjoyed most of them. I'm trying to remember, mostly just bath bombs and maybe a soap or a shower gel here or there. Their lip scrubs also, I remember I had a period where I was just obsessed with their lip scrubs, and I think I even got some of their liquid eyeshadows at one point. I don't know if this is even an item that they sell anymore, but they had these liquid eyeshadows that were quite pricey actually. At the time, it was like one bottle was about 1,800 yen or 2,000 yen with tax. Those were not the best, and I think the general consensus on their makeup products have been very mixed reviews. As far as their body care products though, I've never had a bad experience with them, and I've only heard good things from other people. I think the reason why I never went too hardcore with purchasing things from Lush in the past, well, first of all, it's really pricey, right? So that's, I mean, we can just stop right there. But the second reason is that I think I always had this like subconscious idea that anything that you use on your body, shower gels or bath bombs, bath products, even hair products, anything that's gonna be used in larger quantities on your body where it just gets washed down the drain at the end of the day, it just felt like it would be too wasteful and too painful to be spending so much money on that kind of stuff and just to have it washed down the drain. But my mindset regarding that has definitely done a 180 over this past year, I would say. Now I feel like if you have the funds and the means, of course, you definitely should invest in body care, and it's actually the most important thing, like arguably more important than makeup items that for the most part they only serve to enhance your looks cosmetically. And of course, makeup products themselves, like the stuff that you put on your face, lipstick, eyeshadow, a lot of them, especially these days, a lot of them do have like beneficial ingredients infused into the formula that's good for your skin, or at the very least it doesn't do as much damage as the makeup formulas back in the day. But at the end of the day, like the cosmetics that we put on our face to do, you know, our look for the day, it is 90% for just an aesthetic purpose, whereas things like skincare or bath products that you use on your body, that is literally nourishing your skin and your body from the inside out. So nowadays I feel like those products are actually the most important thing that you should be investing your money into. So my priorities are flipping basically, right? Before, I used to invest the big bucks into the more superficial makeup products like eyeshadows, lipsticks, cheek palettes, things like that. And then I would go for the budget brands when it came to my shower gel and shampoo. But for this year, I'm taking that and I'm flipping it. And it's not to say that I won't allow myself to buy or enjoy luxury makeup anymore. That's not the case at all. But I'm definitely willing to like cut down or be more selective about the makeup that I do buy in favor of putting more of my budget towards actual like body care and, you know, luxuriating, really prioritizing that self-care, me time. And yeah, I definitely think that I have the people that gifted me Lush items for Christmas to thank for this epiphany that I have just come to recently. It was one of the girls in my twerk class. She's a professional dancer. She does like pole dancing as her main profession, but she gifted me with the Butter Bear bath bomb, which I just used earlier today, and it was like so heavenly. I cannot remember the last time I treated myself to a bath, let alone a bath bomb from Lush. But yeah, that one was amazing. My entire body feels like so silky smooth and buttery now. And then Mikuri sensei, my twerk teacher, also gifted me with a box set of a bunch of products.